And we are live, guys. Welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. Today is just a Q&A session. We do this every single Friday. When there's no major news that breaks, I try to do something with you guys that is interactive, that gives back to you guys and to thank you guys all for your support. So we do a Q&A session. First and foremost, we have our questions that are answered on Instagram or asked on Instagram, and we will then answer it accordingly and according to what you guys will say, etc. It depends how many questions we get. Normally, I pick whatever picture you pick on Instagram or whatever question you ask on Instagram. I kind of try to bring it on the show and make it the main title of the show so that you guys can obviously be drawn in. And there's a main topic that we can basically base this show around. So I start with Instagram first and then I move to you guys. This is also simultaneously streaming on Facebook. So you guys can also ask questions on Facebook as well. And I'll try my best to answer it to the best of my ability, of course. So let's get into today's show. But before we get going, before we get started, on this channel, please, if that button is red, please subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos. But to the guys that are on Facebook, move over to YouTube and subscribe there and click that notification bell. It's very important that you do so because you'll get daily videos. We do daily videos. The only video day we don't do videos is on a Saturday. Unless there's a match happening, then we will do Saturdays too. But if it's just a normal week, then there's no shows on a Saturday, but you'll get notifications straight to your phone, to your email when we go live. So that's why it's very important that you guys go over to YouTube and subscribe too. And the guys on Facebook, just show us love as much as you can. Also, what I'd like you guys to please do is smash that like button. So important that you do so. Drop a like on the video, comment, and share with all your friends and family. Also, download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. We are currently very busy working on the new issue. Trying to get all the content out to you as soon as possible. It's been quite a hectic time now to get things out, to track down people, but we are trying our best to get this out as soon as possible for you. It will be the June edition of Cricket Fanatics Magazine. I also want you guys to become a patron. Now, that's also very important. I think that will help us obviously grow as a company, and it also takes us into the future. It will help us grow and help us build this platform like we would want to. So please get involved with that. Links on the screen as well as in the description. I've also attached my PayPal account if you guys want to do any donations over there too. The link is in the description as well. And you don't forget to go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all updates too. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Looking forward to answering your questions, guys. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show, your fan Q&A session. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is our 3-year anniversary at Cricket Fanatics Magazine. I started this publication on the 1st of July 2019, and this is the year 3 going into this particular thing, and it's been excellent. I mean, on YouTube itself, it hasn't been 3 years yet. We only started the YouTube channel officially with regards to doing shows probably about 6 months in. So just before COVID started, we started doing our shows and started doing these type of things on YouTube where we're doing original content. But yeah, thank you to everybody that has been involved. Thanks to all of you guys. And get involved with the super chats, please. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, 3-year anniversary for Cricket Fanatics Magazine since we started the digital mag, the website, etc. So very chuffed about that. I'm happy about where we are now as a publication. I feel that we are getting more respect with regards to that. So I'm hoping that we can continuously do that and give fans a voice continuously. But let's get into the questions. On Instagram, first and foremost, we've got one from MBG Kiran RK. It's with underscores between MBG underscore Kiran underscore RK. Why David Miller is not playing Test cricket? I just think that David Miller maybe just hasn't been at the level that others were when he was coming through the system. I think at the time in that middle order with Faf du Plessis and with AIDEN, with AB de Villiers and so many other people that were in that middle order over the years that have done exceptionally well. I mean, we've had Asim Amlat, number 3 for many, many years. Jacques Callis for many, many years. We've had AB de Villiers, Faf du Plessis for many, many years as well in the mix. So it would have been very difficult for David Miller to get into that team, and to actually translate what he can do in 4-day cricket in the test arena. So I wouldn't be able to give you a proper reason because I haven't ever spoken to the selectors about David Miller. I didn't even cross my mind, and that's maybe because I haven't necessarily seen him play enough long format cricket for me to say whether I see him as that person. Because in recent times, he hasn't necessarily been performing or playing on much 4-day cricket for us to be able to say, you know what, maybe you can get into the test team. So I think that's maybe the reason. He also, I think he also announced his retirement not so long ago from first class cricket as well, to focus on particularly the white ball arena, particularly the white ball World Cups and the T20 World Cup, of course, and the ODI World Cup. So it's very important that we understand that too. So it's crazy that people are still asking for it, when we have a lot of young, decent talent coming through the system over here in South Africa. Desert 12 says, who are the two who would get picked in the England series among Ryan, Rassie, and Aiden, in your opinion? I think out of the two, it will most likely be Rassie and Aiden, even though I don't think that Aiden's maybe done what is required of him. From our perspective as fans, we've always said that you have to work your way back into the team if you've been dropped. Now, yes, he was dropped because of the IPL, etc. We know about that. And going to the IPL, Rassie and Aiden, they missed out on the Test series against India, and they missed out on certain games because of the IPL. So for them to come back into the setup, because Sadal Iervia now has cemented his spot, and as so has Keegan Peterson. So I feel that they deserve the spots above Aiden. And I think also it's unfair to Ryan Rickleton because he's played for South Africa. He's now doing he's in form now after scoring on his debut century in county cricket. So he's played for South Africa as well now in the test arena. So it's only fair that he gets another opportunity because he hasn't really necessarily done anything wrong. So it's going to be difficult for Aiden and Rassie, I feel, to come back in without any criticism. I think a lot of us, I still back Aiden a lot. Still think he has the ability to maybe become a great test player. I think he is a great test player. I think he's just struggled to find his role within the South African team. And I think many players have, particularly batters, have struggled to find their roles within the South African team. Then we've got reasons for continuous collapses. I think it's lack of concentration. I think it's a lack of a clear clinical game plan, and it's lack of building partnerships amongst batters in the top order. I think chopping and changing all the time is not very good for South Africa, and particularly if you're looking at it, it's different performances, it's different formats we're talking about here. And South Africa has issues in every format. In the test format, the issues are different to in the one-day arena, and the issues in the T20 arena is different to what it is in the one-day arena and the test arena as well. So, generally speaking, collapses are got to do with a game plan not coming off, or you losing concentration mentally, or not being able to find synergy between batters. And I think South Africa need to find consistency. And I think that's what's going to get us into a mode of of being more accurate and obviously more consistent with regards to how we score runs. And if we can continuously bring consistency to the game and start to find regular partnerships between players, I think that collapses would be a lot less. We've already seen in the test arena, Alga and Sarl Eva have seemed to find some sort of connection, and they've started to build partnerships. So we're getting regular opening stands. We need that in our white ball arena, and I think that's got a lot to do with our collapses. Is that we don't get very good starts and we don't get dominant starts. So with Maradi Rousseau's inclusion now into the mix, a lot of us will probably hope that he opens the batting instead of now Temba, because Temba's out. So we're hoping that we can correct that, especially in the World Cup, because I think our collapses have got a lot to do with our opening partnerships and finding that solidity. Aiden and Dean were struggling in the test arena before, and I think that had a lot to do with that. And a lot of the time, our middle order had to bail us out. I mean, I'm watching India as well. India's been struggling with their top order as well for quite some time, and their middle order have been saving them a majority of the time. I mean, Rishabh Pant has just been excellent recent times in Test cricket. I think he's found his groove in Test cricket. A lot of people are now criticizing him in the white ball arena, but you can never win as a professional cricketer, I guess. But I think that he's found his groove, been able to play a free flowing game while still maintaining patience. He has to work on his fitness, however, because when he gets to about 100 balls faced, then he starts to cramp up. So maybe he needs to work on that a little bit before he has to call on the physio every 5 minutes. So that's maybe something that he needs to improve on his game. But with regards to South Africa, I'm starting to see a nice core building, particularly in the test arena. And I just want to see consistency. I don't think it's fair to maybe play Aiden and Rassie immediately. I think that if maybe Rickleton and if maybe one of the others are not performing and they're struggling a little bit, maybe then you can throw in Aiden and Rassie. But based on South Africa's past, they tend to give the person that has the most caps the opportunities first, if it's between two players. So let's see what happens with regards to that. Do you think Markram should bat at 4 in tests since Pavuma is not there at 4 and Rassie is at 5? I like Aiden at 4. I do think that it will be able to bring out a more free flowing Aiden, someone that's a little bit less pressure on him to score runs every single time. And we can allow our more experienced players to absorb the pressure at the top and our more gritty players to do so. Likes of Cyril Earvier, likes of Dean Alga. I think they're building a nice partnership. And if it wasn't Cyril Earvier, I would like to see Peter Malan. I think Peter Malan has been excellent in domestic cricket, particularly for Boland as well, continuing what he's done at Western Province and the Cobras. And he's performing in all formats too, but he also performed against England when they came here. And it was shocking to me that he suddenly just lost his place immediately. And that when they decided not to go with Aiden, that Cyril got the opportunity and not Peter back into the side. So it was a bit interesting because they're similar ages, or even probably, I think they might be almost the same age. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. But I do like the thought of having someone like Aiden at 4, someone that's a little bit more attacking, that is starting to develop his game in the other formats. It kind of will help him keep a synergy across all formats, I feel. It will keep him consistent. Because if he's batting at 4, he will battle it with a little bit more freedom, hopefully. But there's another player that has now moved his position domestically so that he can hunt that number 4 spot, because I don't think he feels that he will be able to open, and that's Yanaman Malan. There's so much competition in South African cricket for the opening position. It's crazy. You look around the country, I think every single team's opening partnerships and opening batters are probably their star players. Majority of the time, that is the case. At Western Province currently, they are building a new and fresh opening partnership. I know that Kaplan and Smith were opening for a little while, but also Tony DeZorzi was thrown into the mix. Sometimes Yasin Valley was also an option to open. So they're starting to build some nice synergy there at Western Province. I think Grant Rulofson's done excellent at the Dolphins, opening the batting if he's not keeping. But other than that, you'll obviously bat lower down if he's keeping. You've got the likes of Cyril Earvier as well, that has done well. The Dolphins now getting his opportunity. At the Lions, the usual suspects are always doing well there. Joshua Richards is doing excellently with Dominic Hendricks. So Josh Richards is another one for the future, another exciting opener to watch. There's another young batter that I think maybe in Test cricket, like Mitch van Buren, that is really making some good, decent waves. I mean, I saw him at before when he was younger, and he's now transformed his game and now moved over into domestic cricket as well and performed. But it's interesting. It will be interesting to see what they do, to see what is their first team and who they think their first team is, and see what happens. Because also Calverain has been quite good. Calverain, particularly doing a better away than he's doing at home, funnily enough. And I would like to actually see him develop. And I think England will be a nice place for him to actually test his abilities. So at 4, I can see Aiden Markram at 4. I'm not completely against that idea. And a Here We Go came through for Manchester United. We signed our first player of the season. Whew, yes. I don't. There's a cricket channel, but I'm gonna get. I told you guys when I see the tweet coming through, I'm gonna get excited and probably speak about it. Oh yes, John O'Bird is also at the top, but he was injured recently. So let's get into your questions and what you guys have to say in the live chat. Khalid, we need an aggressive batsman or batter in the lower order who can be a game changer. I think he can do that at number five. Who are you talking about? Aiden. That's five. I wouldn't put him as low as five. Um, I'll probably put him at four. Me personally. Okay. Pinar van Wyk zijn Alga, Evia, Markram, KP, RVD, Rickerton, Verreina, Maharaj, Rabada, Nkiri, Nokia. That is his test team, it seems like it. Um, Steiger Tiger saying, Pinar, how can you drop a bowler who has the second most test wickets in test championship for your team, Marco Janssen? Uh, 12 is a very good position for Aiden. He can carry things on for batters who can actually bat at the moment in the test arena. And that's a lot of fans have been saying that particular point and speaking about that. They've a lot of people have said that he needs to now work his way back into the team. I mean, even Dean Alga in his press conference said the same thing. Michael Joseph saying Harmer for sure has to play and he can bat better than Markram in English conditions. I don't know about that necessarily. If that's necessarily true. I mean, Markram has shown that he can bat in England conditions when he goes and plays county cricket. So I don't know if that's necessarily true. And international cricket and county cricket, you can't compare it, guys. I think that county cricket is very much hyped up. And I know a lot of England fans will maybe say something else. But for me personally, I think it's a lot more hyped up. The talent is spread out a lot more. I don't think the quality is as condensed and as strong as many people make it out to be. Um, yes, England is producing amazing talent, and they always will. Cricket is a massive sport in England with a lot of good development programs in place, particularly for the people that are in the lower groups. They're doing a hell of a lot for development now in England than they've ever done before. Markram can carry drinks. Will be Anderson's Bunny. Sarl has better chance of negating James than Markram. I don't think Markram has done enough to retain his place. Peter Malan in place of Markram, Bedingham in place of RVD, Hamza in place of Kyle. Kyle doesn't have the technique to handle English bowlers like Hamza, who has faced them earlier in 2020. Well, Hamza's banned currently, so unfortunately we can't select him. It's very, very unfortunate. I think as his career was starting to take some momentum again after a bad spell with the Proteas, the whole situation happened with the ICC, as you know, with the whole drug tests and everything that he failed. So unfortunately, he's not available for selection. Lawrence and Khalid, I'm gonna have to have the same energy as a few months back. For me, Aiden Markham doesn't make the test side. Can't go on T20 form. He's been absolutely horrible in test cricket. Got to keep it real, and that is a good stance to have. And it's an understandable stance to have. He hasn't necessarily performed in test cricket, and it's baffling to me because I thought that would be his strongest. That and one day cricket would probably be his strongest format, in my opinion, when I saw him coming through the system. And what happened is actually reverse. He's now become a better T20 batter, which is crazy. How much a year or two can change your whole career. Khalid, if SA player Rassi, Aiden, Cal, then it is asking for trouble, as all three have dodgy technique in handling the moving ball. Yes, the moving ball. Oh, this is going to be a test of that. I've been speaking about this moving ball for a long time. And I've been speaking about a lot of players that have struggled with this moving ball. It's going to be a proper test for them. And they're going to have to show what they're capable of to do so. Um, Markram didn't perform only in 5 tests against India and New Zealand. Before that, he had a good series against Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and West Indies. That's also very, very true. Eden hasn't done much to justify his selection. Holly, do you think Zondo will be direct replacement for Temba Bavuma? And don't you think we should have gone with a guy like Tony DeZosi, who's young and, in my opinion, is better and with a higher ceiling? And that is something, yes, that I agree with. I would rather go with a younger Black African player than go with a more experienced Black African player, especially when the younger one has a great average that rivals the more experienced guy. For me, if you're picking an experienced person in a team, to me, you have to start him unless he has unbelievable gold member knowledge that he can only provide to you guys. That he's the only person that has that he's the messiah and he's the whisperer, a cricket whisperer that has extra information that can give you guys to have the edge. Other than that, there's no value for an older guy to be in the team, I feel, because I don't think that, especially a guy that doesn't necessarily have international experience, then I think that the younger guy will obviously get more experience from that. And I thought that Zondo should have been selected over Kaya Zondo. I mean, sorry, Tony Zorzi should have been selected over Kaya Zondo. So those type of things we have to look at as well. It's unfortunate that we are still going with this. It almost seems like they look through the overall standings and see who are the most who are the biggest run scorers within in the game. They look at it and then they pick them based on that, instead of looking at the last couple of seasons. I know Kai Zonda did okay; it did quite well this season, um, but obviously that 200 that he scored also elevated his average a lot bigger. I don't like the consistency. I don't see the consistency in Kai Zondo's game that he should have at the age that he is. Markram should Markram should even see the test 11 with his current test form. I'm sorry, but shouldn't. I think you meant right. Markram shouldn't even see the test 11 with his current test form. I'm sorry, but I'm not those people with short-term memory. The guy has been horrendous in tests and ODIs of late. Let's keep it real. Aiden doesn't deserve a spot. He could be the glamour a boy at 4 or 5, taking the game away. SA test bowling is superior, hence if their batting clicks, we can we can beat England. But the problem is if England prepare green tops, then it will likely be England's test if the pitch is flat or slow, then SA wins. Um, I wouldn't underestimate our bowling attack though on those wickets. I think our bowling attack is going to be deadly and will give England a lot of trouble. We just need to make sure that we can survive that first um 10, 20. If we can survive that first 10, 20 overs, I feel, um and really get a good amount of runs on the board and a solid opening partnership, I think the game is in South Africa's hands, with regards to finding what they need to win the match, to put themselves in a winning position. It's going to be very important for their opening partnerships or their number 3 to save them. So I think the top 3 is going to be so important in England, because if you, it's all about scoring massive runs, because you can see easily how a game can slip away from you. England won top of India today, on day one, and 2 middle order batters took the game away and made them a competitive total. So it went from 5 wickets down for almost under 100 on the board to now I think they're sitting on 320 for 6. So it's like incredible what they've done, and it just shows what you must do when you're batting in English conditions. You need to make sure that you can dominate up top and find a good solid start to the game. Um, Very well said, Lorenzo. You are always honest, and lots of respect to you for that. Ryan Rickleton should play all 3 tests irrespective of result, as Keegan versus India and Kyle versus New Zealand, and hopefully Ryan for England win series for us. Khalid, I'm a big fan of Michal. I have seen him bowl at a lot, and I feel he is a SA version of Glenn Maxwell. No, Glenn McGrath, sorry. With more pace and he can bat as well. He should be in the ODI squad ahead of Dwayne or Marco. Interesting take. Interesting take on that. I'm also a big fan of Michal Pretorius, but I do think that he needs to do a lot more, to really stand out as a true all-rounder for South Africa, particularly with the bat. John Abord is a top order batter in the making. Um, Malaysia has signed. Yes, he has. Woo, I'm so happy, guys. First signing, and I'm here live with you guys. I'm supposed to be watching here all of the live signings and talking and interviews and all that crap that's going to be happening now. People talking about it. But United has finally made their final signing. It took us bloody 2-3 months to do it. And it's a left back out of all the positions. I never even thought that that's going to even happen ever. Like, that was the crazy thing about it. But thank you for showing interest in my love for Man United, guys. Michal Pretorius is a complete bowler in all aspects. He's a surgeon and can decimate opposition on swinging tracks. The dude has an economy rate of less than 4 in List A with an average of 21. That is insane. He's an excellent bowler. I'm not going to lie. A really, really lethal bowler. And I really thought that he would get an opportunity when he was selected within the teams. Never really did. He needs to work on his death bowling a little bit more. I think that is something in limited overs cricket I'm talking about now. And also on his batting, like I said. But I think he's an excellent, excellent player, and he does deserve more chances. We were always looking for these express pace bowlers. Here's one that can bat too. But we also got Gerald Kutsia waiting in the wings as well, who can do the same. Aiden could be used as an attacking batter in the middle order. That's why I see him as well. But I think he does need to do it first, show why he deserves to be there. And it's difficult for him to be able to do that now because he's part of the squad. So how does he get a chance? They're gonna have to obviously pick him they're gonna pick the team probably based on what they see in the nets and warm-ups and how the players are feeling, etc. So let's see what happens. He's part of the squad, so he's available for selection. Are we going to see Aiden Markram open ever in any format as he was originally an opener? That's what I want to see. I mean, I still believe in Aiden as an opener. I think that that's his strongest position. So it's crazy that we haven't seen him yet. That we haven't seen him more regularly open the batting in ODI cricket as well as in T20 cricket. And I was hoping that he will get his spot back as an opener at the top of the order, but that doesn't happen. And what happens is if you don't perform and you don't put in the numbers, someone else gets a chance and they take your spot. And it's simple as that. That's competitive cricket and competitive sport for you. I can't see us play with both Keshav and Harmer in England. Maybe we can as we're touring at the back of the end of the English summer. So food for thought for our selectors. Good problem to have though. Um, Khalid, I hope you have you ever met Aditya metaphysically? Yes, I have. I met Aditya. That's actually how we know each other. When India came down to South Africa for the Test series and the six ODIs, I met Aditya at one of the games at Newlands, and I think we got to talking. And yeah, and that's how I got to know him. And then when I started Cricket Fanatics magazine, he got in touch and he said he wants to. Is it? Am I keen for him to be involved? And I said yes, and the rest is history. And I'm going to see Aditya very, very soon. So Aditya is currently on a South African tour. He's in Joburg, and then he's going to Durban, and then he's coming to Cape Town. So I'm going to see him very, very soon. So we're gonna have a show together, probably, hopefully, I'm hoping, live together for the first time, and do a daily show together in person. So we're going to be side by side doing a show together, hopefully. Markham should bat at 4. Timber being injured might just be a silver lining for Aiden. Jimmy Anderson and Broad will have a field day with Markham if he plays. If Aiden bats at number 5 in Test, it may be a blessing in disguise for him as a middle order batter. Batters are doing well in England, like Mitchell, Punt, Blundell, Bairstow, and Stokes. Khalid is Bellingham eligible to play for South Africa. He's eligible to play for South Africa, but he's also eligible to play for England. So whoever contacts him first will probably get him. But I think that he'll probably be leaning more towards England, seeing that he's basically setting up a life there. Long contracts with Durham. Um, he's staying over there now for large periods of time. Obviously, climatizing to these environment and the people. So I can see him play for England, actually, unfortunately, even though how much I want him to actually play. He knows how much I want him to play for South Africa. I've told him this for years. So it will be up to the selectors, Victor, etc., if they want to get David Bellingham back into the system. But I think it is still open for negotiation. I don't think he's completely closed-minded on the idea, but it still can be an option. Do you think we're going to go in with 6 or 7 batters? And if we go with 6, who bats 7? Janssen. I could see us go with 7 and still bat Rickleton at 7, to be honest with you. It will be tricky though, because you're only going to be playing with 4 bowlers, all out and out bowlers. So it's going to be very important that they keep the consistency and can get 20 wickets. It's very important that will be able to happen. It will be so crucial. I think Keshav will become so crucial then if you're going to play an extra batter in these conditions, because I don't see them playing only seamers. They're definitely going to play spinners. And the way this pitch is looking at the moment, the way England has utilized their spinners, it seems like there is something in it for the spinners. So Keshaf's going to be so important. If they dominating Keshaf, we're going to be in trouble with seven batters. Um, but I think that South Africa generally seems to like the balanced options and having extra bowling options and all these things. So let's see what happens. Khalid, India has Jadeja at number 7, which balances their team. Who should play at 7? Um, giving your thoughts. Uh, in Test cricket at the moment, we don't have like a proper batting all rounder. I feel that in Test cricket that can really play there. So I think it will have to be a toss up between a bowling all rounder and a batter, an out and out batter. So Ryan Rickelton and Marco Janssen between them. And if Vian Mulder can get to the form that we have been wishing for, then he can be the answer to that question. I think Bryce Parsons to a degree as well in the future. If he can start getting way better forward end numbers because he adds a bowling option. Um, let's see what happens. Aiden MARKRAM at 4 should good work. Should be a toss of the coin between him and Rassi. I'd prefer to give Ryan Rickelton another go. Me too, actually. I think that he should get picked. Ryan Rickelton should get picked over Rassi and Aiden. I think it's only fair. I don't think he's done nothing to be omitted from the side. In fact, he's shown signs of that he can hold his own in this format at the international level. So I would give Ryan Rickelton a chance. Um, it's also a very positive opportunity because it's a positive batter. It thinks with an attacking mindset. So it would be a good appointment, I think, to definitely one of the players for South Africa in the future. We will never know if we don't approach Bellingham. Can you have an interview with Victor on your channel, please? I will try to get another one with him. Victor is a very hard man to track down and to get it approved because there's a lot of people I need to go through before I can actually get it approved. I can't just ask Victor alone unless I'm seeing him randomly at a place or a venue. So I'm going to try again to get Victor on the show. Let me have a chat with him and conversation with him and we can see what happens. He shouldn't play Test cricket. He's had his chance. Pretty 30s and 40s aren't going to cut it. We have plenty of young talent happy to come in his place. Biggest problem SA has is the batting all-rounder position. We currently have a bowling all-rounder at 7 with a weaker SA batting lineup, and that's what I was talking about. At the moment, we have to choose between having a batter or a bowling all-rounder in that position. Unfortunately, if we then go with Ricks at 7 and Aiden Markham has to play, he can be the second spinner and the fifth bowler. That could count in Aiden Markham's favor for selection. I think that currently has been counting in his favor in every format that he's played. It's his bowling that's kept him into the team. Craziness that has been happening. I think Jason Smith can be another batting all-rounder. Yes, and I hope that Jason can become the player that we all wish he was and all hope that he would be. For so many years, everybody spoke about Jason as the next big thing, and he's never lived up to that potential, unfortunately. I thought that the move to the Dolphins would revive his career. It has to an extent because he's getting a lot more game time and now he has more opportunities to score and play um, much better innings with his bat, particularly because his bowling is the same. I feel he keeps the same level of bowling. His bowling is okay. He keeps a decent line and length and he does the simple things well, gets a couple of wickets here and there, but it's his batting that will get him into the team. If Jason Smith can start averaging and start scoring more regular 50s in the middle order and convert them to hundreds, then our answers are solved for that number 7 spot. Then we don't have to worry. I mean, Jason can even bat at 5. But guys, that's all the questions that I have here, all the questions that I had on Instagram, all the questions that I've had in the live chat. Thanks you so much for joining us and having your say. Like I said, it's our 3rd year anniversary. So since Cricket Fanatics magazine has been that's come to fruition and since I built it, obviously the YouTube channel is not 3 years old yet, but the actual company itself with regards to Cricket Fanatics is. So I'm very proud of everybody that has been involved with us for so many years, and thank you for the support. For the guys on Facebook, please go over to YouTube and subscribe there. Smash the like button, share, and please get involved. Maybe give me an anniversary present by getting involved with a Patreon account or getting involved with a PayPal account. The links are in the description, or you can throw a quick super chat in the live chat as well. Look, I'm fishing for presents, and then you can also download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. Thanks a lot for the Q&A show, guys. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. And I'll see you guys again on Sunday evening with another podcast show. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. A lot of sports going to be happening this weekend. The Boxer will be playing as well. So enjoy your weekend as best as possible. Spend time with the family and yeah, and just have a great time. I'll see you guys all very, very soon. Take care. Peace.